Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those trophy list analysis videos. Today's game is Clock Tower Rewind for the PS4 and PS5. Clock Tower Rewind is an enhanced port of the original 1995 Clock Tower game that was only ever officially released in Japan. It is a point-and-click survival horror game, which is a really strange combination of genres, where you play as an orphan girl who's trying to escape from ScissyMan, a killer that runs around with a giant pair of scissors, and you can't actually kill him. So it's quite dangerous at times because you can only ever stun him or run away from him. So anyway, this is the first time the game's ever gotten an international version, and I'm not sure if enhanced port means something more like a remake or remaster, or just, a port with extra features. But either way, the game releases on October 29th in North America for the PS4 and PS5. Releases a couple days later for Japan, and some of the other consoles get it later as well. The game comes with 1 platinum, 6 golds, 13 silvers, and 7 bronzes. This time it's a little bit different because I'm actually looking at it on Exophase because PSN Profiles hasn't gotten it added into their listing yet. As far as I'm aware, Exophase is always correct when they leak trophy lists, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. So let's go ahead and take a look at the list. Our platinum trophy is called Clock Tower Survivor. So for those of you that are new to trophy hunting, the platinum trophy is earned upon obtaining all other trophies in a game. So now we start out with 2 bronze trophies. The first, Fear, In for a Fright Tonight, and Sheer Terror, Encounter a Frightening Nemesis. So those are both presumably the first couple of story-related trophies that you're going to get, unless you manage to get I think it's the H ending? Or no, it's either the H or the G ending, I think? Whatever one of the worst endings is where you don't actually have to encounter ScissyMan. So I will also go ahead and give my normal disclaimer that I'm going into this more so as a trophy hunter than a massive mega fan of the franchise, but I do know quite a bit about the original Clock Tower as well as the PS1 game. I don't know entirely about the layout of the mansion or anything, but I do at least know some about this game, so I think I can give a fairly good analysis this time around. Now we're off to some silver trophies. Cat Scare. How did they get in there? So that is presumably for finding a cat inside of any location where ScissyMan might also pop up. I'm assuming maybe this one is specifically for the piano, because that is a thing, but it could also be for any other place where a cat might pop out. They're here. Experience a ghostly encounter. I don't know if that is for surviving being choked by the mirror, or if that might be if the blood or the maggots run out of a sink, just because given the sort of trophy image. The trophy images are pretty good, by the way. Silence. Defeat the parrot. Unless something has majorly changed, then that's fairly straightforward and easy to do. You just throw a bedsheet over him. Watch your step. A step further would be a steep drop. I'm assuming that is for avoiding falling down that hole in the second floor of the mansion that you can use a wooden plank to go across, and you can actually use that to deal with ScissyMan and escape from him. So I'm assuming that that's how you get that. Madness in the Moonlight. Back to bronze trophies here. Enter the Courtyard. That is pretty much unmissable during the mini playthroughs you're going to have to do with this game. Out to Lunch, another silver trophy. Find a use for some ham. That requires you to find the ham. This is going to be a required part of the A ending. Creepers. Use the pesticide, another silver trophy. I can't remember what you get in the container where you have to use the pesticide, but I know what you have to do for it. You have to find the container and then use it in a specific area or else you die. Now we have our first gold trophy, A Sight Better Unseen. Witness a death that could have been avoided. So I'm 99% sure that that's going to be for when Lot frees you during the A ending and you witness her death. I'm 99% sure that's what that's going to be for. I could be wrong. It might be something different. It might be one of the other characters, or it might even be a part of one of the other endings, but I'm 99% sure that's going to be unlocked by seeing Lot die during that particular cutscene. But again, I could be wrong. What a Mansion. Back to bronze here. Enter the West Building. That's going to be unmissable during all of your playthroughs. Back to silver now. Quick Escape. Make use of the rope. I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I think that there's a rope you can use in certain versions of the game that allows you to escape ScissyMan by maybe dropping down that cliff area, or not cliff, but down that hole or out of a building window or something, I think is how you do that. But I think that's how that one works, but I might be wrong. Dolly Dearest, destroy a ghostly doll. That is generally a later game activity. It's how you get a specific item that you need to progress. Itchy Tasty, defeat an undead threat. This is something that I think was not in the original version of Clock Tower. I think this only ever popped up on some of the later versions of the game. It's a specific enemy that you come across that's only in certain versions of the game. I think that's what this is. I'm not entirely sure how you defeat it. I think maybe you have to hit it with a dagger or something, but I could be wrong on that because that isn't in every version of the game. Now we're up to a gold trophy. A deadly duet. Found an unlikely partner to play a tune with. So I'm assuming that that is for ScissyMan popping out of the piano, but I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that's what that is. Now we have a silver trophy, everything will be okay, calm down with a drink. This is a random event that can happen when you run across Miss Mary earlier on in the game, and it can be a part of the A ending potentially as well. A Great Father, another gold trophy. Discover the Barrow's secrets from an unexpected source. That is a required part of the S ending for the game. Key to the Cradle. Collect a mysterious object. That is pretty much a requirement for virtually all of the endings except for like the two worst ones where you escape in the car. So that's going to be unmissable during your mini playthroughs. Master of Stealth, a bronze trophy. Avoid a deadly bite. That is going to be presumably for sneaking past the dog when you get into the underground caves where you need the perfume and the robe to get past it. I'm assuming that's what that's for. From Cradle to Grave, another silver. Survived an encounter with Dan Barrows. That is going to be unlocked on a lot of your different playthroughs, actually. You're going to have to deal with him for several different playthroughs for several different endings. Close Cuts, a gold trophy. Survived the final encounter with Mary and Bobby Barrows. So that is presumably for getting either the S, A, B, or C endings, because those are the only ways where that will end up happening. An Unnatural Phenomena. Survived the night in the Barrows Mansion. I don't know why there's two separate trophies, because, I mean, those are kind of for the same thing. Unless that other one is for some other ending or something. I'm not entirely sure, but that sounds like they're both kind of for the same thing at the end of the game. Our last silver trophy, Don't Cry, Jennifer, Abandon Your Friends. That is going to be for doing the G ending, I believe it is. It's either the G or the H ending. It's the one where you don't see any of your friends die and then you manage to escape in the car. So it's one of the two worst endings. Now here is the most difficult trophy probably in the game. All endings, a gold trophy, have all endings cleared in the ending list. This game has, I want to say, 9 different endings. There's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, as well as an S ending. And who knows, they might have even added in an extra ending this time around for all we know. Some of the endings are really quick and fairly easy to get, like the G and the H endings are pretty easy to get, whereas some of the other ones do take a pretty complete playthrough and knowing what you're doing. Not to mention the game also has an element of RNG to it because certain events just happen on certain playthroughs and don't happen on other playthroughs. I think even the layout of the mansion is slightly randomized on playthroughs. And now we have 2 more bronze trophies for TikTok for taking a breather. I assume that is for whenever Jennifer kneels down and manages to recover some of her panic meter, so basically her health. And You Are Dead. Encounter a dead end. If you get through this platinum trophy without getting that trophy, that's going to be very surprising. So overall, the platinum trophy is sort of what I was expecting from this game, pretty much. Complete all the different endings, complete miscellaneous tasks throughout the game. A lot of the trophies, though, are story-related while getting certain endings, as well as a few other miscellaneous trophies. I would have liked to have seen a few more, creative miscellaneous trophies, like hiding in certain areas or fending ScissyMan off in certain ways. Stuff like that might have been interesting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, like maybe the secret key, or not even secret key, but the extra key that seems useless, that you can actually use to get out of the jail cell without Lot's help that a lot of people don't even know about. Something like that I would have liked to have seen. But it's pretty much the list I would expect, so unless things are majorly changed, you should be able to follow old guides from, like, OG versions of the game and probably be okay. So the game, again, is kind of clunky with its controls and everything, but as long as you're following some sort of a guide, you probably shouldn't have too many major problems with this. There's no, major collectibles you have to do. There's no difficulty-related trophies. I believe this enhanced port is supposed to have save states, which is going to make the game exponentially easier in case you make a mistake somewhere or get some bad RNG. It also would make it very easy to Well, actually, no, I don't know if that would work. Like, I would say that it would allow you to get all the different endings a little bit more easily, but I'm willing to bet that since you have to have them all cleared in your list, that probably wouldn't work. So it's probably still going to be 9 separate playthroughs, one for each ending. But overall, like I said, Platinum doesn't seem too difficult. Probably about a 3 out of 10 as long as you're following a guide and get some good luck with everything. And I would say probably 10 to 15 hours to get the Platinum, because some of those playthroughs you can do in like 5 to 10 minutes, and then some of them might take over an hour. So probably like 10 to 15 hours, but nothing too difficult there. So thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't done so already. Let me know down in the comments if you're as excited for this game as I am, because, I mean, I like this franchise, and I really wish that it would get another chance, a way to come back in and actually be something again, because it was one of the OG survival horror franchises. I would still love to see the second game, which was the first one that we got in the West. I would love to see that one get either a remake, a remaster, a port, or even just, a streamed version on PS5 I would love to see. Clock Tower 2, I couldn't really care any less about because that game is apparently awful. And then there's a third one that came out another year or two later that's more of an action-adventure game. I don't really know about that one, but I think it's supposed to at least be better than the second one. And then, of course, there was Haunting Ground, which was considered a spiritual successor that came out a few years later on PS2. And there was also Rule of Rose, which I think has some similarities to it. And then, of course, there was Nightcry, which actually is on the Vita, and I still need to play that game. So, again, thank y'all for watching. See y'all back here real soon for some more trophy content.